Hello friends, James Stevenson back with part 2 of James's Gems of the Week. I had to end part 1 quickly so that I could help my co-host Loki um, to get a dog treat. That's what he wanted. Alright, off he goes. So Loki has his dog treat and part 2 can continue now. And I do have a Loki cam and a tripod and a USB hub on order so that I can inset uh, a Loki cam, hopefully right here in this little box below me and above the I cannot underscore enough logo. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to frame that well enough to have a Loki cam so you can see what he's up to in his dog bed when he's not hanging out with me. It's just too darn comfy. He's got a blankie in there and some toys and a treat sometimes. All right. So if you didn't watch part 1 first, you need to go watch part 1 first and then come back to this. And the parade continues through the tweets that I have liked on Twitter over the past week. So this is where we left off. This is the Google Translate version here. And I'm going to have to bring that up in a new browser window for you. So let's bring up Chrome. That'll be fun. What's new in Chrome? Alright, so this was the link that Troy provided. And we can use Google Translate. Always translate from Chinese, because I don't speak Chinese. So this, you can pause and read if you would like to... Wait a minute. How is this? Oh. There, that looks right. I had the wrong window up in front of me, and it wasn't showing the English, it was showing the Chinese. Okay, so here's some info you can pause and read if you want. But I was happy that Troy had provided this information to us. On what's going on in China right now, it looks like there's going to be some timing of deliveries between Q3 and Q4 as people deferred delivery, hoping that Tesla is going to reduce prices in China in Q4 on a Model Y standard range vehicle. And there might be some other information in here, but I'm not going to read it all to you. Maybe what I'll do with this window is just minimize it. And we're right back to the tweets that I liked. So I'll hit the back button here and move up a little bit so you can see this tweet from Science Girl at Guns N' Roses Girl 3. A group of people doing CrossFit ran past a restaurant. Dozens of diners thought they were escaping from something and abandoned their tables to run off too. This happened in Brazil. So I think I want to let this video run again. There's only, well, let me scroll up for a second. To show the tweet that I liked was Alex A. Voigt saying, a visualization of how the stock market works. If you want a free dinner, have a seat. So here's everybody seated, enjoying their alfresco dining, and panic immediately sets in. So if you're a long-term investor, do not panic when you see others running. It's not ever great advice to panic, but particularly then, people do the wrong thing and lose money in the stock market. You ought to be buying low and selling high. That's the way to do it. Okay. Next tweet from Chansun Bian at Beyond Chansu. My car now drives me and my son to school smoothly and zero intervention during rush hour traffic from parking lot to parking lot in Canada. So amazing time to be alive. I thought that was a good tweet. Is there anything else to it? I don't see anything else to it, so good standalone tweet there. All right, Mario Frayed, anyone including this and others like this to pretend Tesla's EV market share is eroding do not deserve the salary they are getting. Hashtag this is not a car. Hashtag electric vehicles. And then tagging me and Gary Black. So this is one of those EV microcars that I'm talking about. People are not cross-shopping this vehicle against a Tesla. in China or anywhere else in the world. They're not saying, hey, what I really want is either the safest luxury sports vehicle available in class or this little low-speed electric golf cart with a roof on it. One of those is what I want. Okay, so the next tweet that I like came from Noppenlois. Anyway, that's enough of my day wasted. End of thread. Thread reader app unroll. What's happening here? Well, maybe I'll just click through here and you can see what thread reader app unroll does. I'll bring back up that same Chrome window that I just had. And instead of Google, I'll just drop in this link to thread reader app. Hey, why is this? Well, that's a live demo fail, isn't it? If I ever saw one. Okay. So instead of doing that, we're just gonna... Oh, I clicked the wrong link. That's my problem. So... Hello, hola, please enjoy. Find the role here. Copy link. Back we go. And once I have the correct link in, this works. Okay, so Noppenlois thoroughly debunked a long thread about copper from an account called BF Randall that a lot of people found and liked and retweeted, not knowing that it was garbage. So if you want to read through all of this information, I'll scan through it really quickly while I'm talking right now. But you all should be following Noppenlois. It floors me that that account has less than 10,000 followers. I don't really understand how a polymath as skilled at providing correct information on Twitter can have a follower count that low. But I advise all of you, follow this account and learn lots of stuff all the time. That is what you will get. A lot of thoroughly sourced, credible information, usually countering hysterical or unnecessarily amplified FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, propagated by interests that are unclear. So we don't know what BF Randall's motivations are for tweeting misinformation, but we do know, thanks to at ENN_NAFNLAUS, that a bunch of what was in this thread is hokum, garbage, baloney, and codswallop. All right, so out that goes. And I'll return to the tweets that I liked. The next tweet came from Dutchy Wiegans. It was an emotional roller coaster. James is following me. Wait, James followed me some time ago. Hey, that doesn't look right. Fraudster, Twitter police. It's a good set of emojis here. Reported and blocked, even though I don't have all that many followers to spare. So you can see here, this was an imposter account, somebody impersonating me on Twitter. This happens, dozens of times per year. This one took the handle at @ICannot_enough_B. I also cannot underscore enough B. Thanks, I have reported them for impersonating me. So this is all you have to do when you find an impersonator of me. Just let me know via DM if that's available to you, or via a public tweet, what their handle is, because these accounts block me. They block me, and then I can't find out that they exist unless somebody tells me. And then I type in their handle to a DM to myself, and then it shows up with a hyperlink on it, even if they've blocked me. And then I can click that hyperlink, go to their page, and it still lets you report them, even if they've blocked you. Then Twitter sends me an email after an hour with a link in it that I follow, and then I upload a photo of my driver's license that proves I'm really James Stevenson and that imposter isn't. I have an album set up that's only that photo ID on it because this happens so often, so I can find it faster and get through this process quicker. I submit that to Twitter. After a few hours, somebody at Twitter reviews it and suspends the impersonator account. And that's how the process works. So you, if you're being impersonated, don't have to tweet publicly, hey, could everyone please report this account? Nobody has to report the account except the person being impersonated, because they can provide proof that they're the real person, and that's all it takes for Twitter to suspend an impersonator account. So thank you, Dutchy Wiegans. I appreciate your help. The next tweet that I liked came from Nicholas Shanks at @NickShanks_ on Twitter. How ironic that just a few posts above this one on my feed is a BlackRock advert about recycling copper. So in that same thread, BlackRock was trying to tell people that copper can be recycled, which of course copper can be recycled. There were people in Baltimore a few years ago breaking into vacant houses to rip out the old copper plumbing from it so that they could go sell it to be recycled on the secondhand market. That's how valuable copper is. Remember this June 2021 demand cliff? Tesla stock plummets as report shows China orders dropped by half. So let's take a look at this thread from Earl of Frunkpuppy at 28 delays later, who is now Earl of Hearthands, which is nice. Of course, to correspond to Tesla's AI Day 2022, in which all the Tesla employees were wearing Heart Hands t-shirts. So what else is in here? 2020 demand cliff. Tesla sales have fallen off a cliff. Yep. 2019 demand cliff. Tesla Model 3 drives off the demand cliff. An article by John Engel. You can follow him on Twitter at AlmingtonCap. 2018, Tesla ramped up production in 2018, but analysts say demand may be slowing. Yeah, every year the demand cliff is coming in just another quarter. As pointed out by Milton Miller here, BJCLLCTR, at exactly the same time it occurred to me to say it. Because it's true. Tesla Q always thinks the demand cliff is coming next quarter. They are waiting for the demand cliff. Like Godot's friends were waiting for Godot. All right, so I liked all those tweets. Next, a tweet from Sawyer Merritt at Sawyer Merritt on Twitter. View of Giga, Texas today via satellite. You can see more clearly the word Tesla spelled out with solar panels. Check it out. Not sure if it makes that very much bigger for you, but you can clearly see they are working on filling in all that negative space with solar panels and just leave the letters TSLA showing, which will be great for that factory to be producing a lot of their own electricity for free. The next tweet I liked came from KMoney at _PilotKyle_ on Twitter. Wait a second, that's not you? Who did I give $100 in Bitcoin to be a guest star on Gems of the Week? Well, you made it. You're on Gems of the Week, Kyle. So this is, of course, in reply to that same... Oh, no, this is a different impersonator. No, it's the same impersonator reported by a different person. And I'm laughing about it, but people who follow me have been scammed by impersonators who contacted them via DM and sent them links to places where they lost money. So it's not that funny, but it's kind of really sad is what it really is. It's very sad that there's a lot of impersonators out there trying to scam unsuspecting people out of their money by getting them to go to Telegram or whatever and then transact crypto and lose it or whatever their scam is. All right, the next tweet that I liked came from Ekapob at EkapobKUL on Twitter. I think they took Elon's motto too seriously, probably thinking best Apple car is no Apple car. What are we talking about here? Tweet from Holmars, just eyes here, looking at this retweet. My latest survey indicates that Apple will likely build the new Apple car project team before the end of 2022. So, they've been building the team that builds the team for years. Yashu Sharma at Hey It's Yashu noted. Yeah, I think they took Elon's motto too seriously. The best Apple car team is no Apple car team. The best Apple car is no Apple car. So those were good tweets that I liked. Next tweet from Sawyer Merritt. If Tesla does deliver 360,000 vehicles this quarter and all of the analyst expectations, not all, but damn near all the Tesla analyst expectations are within 1% of 360,000 vehicles. That means the company would have delivered on average 3,913 cars per day, or 163 per hour through the entire quarter. That'd be up from 2,622 delivered per day in Q3 of 2021. Incredible growth. Yeah, almost 50% growth year over year. Pretty good. Next, a tweet from Elon Musk. There will be lots of technical detail and cool hardware demos that we saw at AI Day. He also said good analysis to G. Filchi, that being Galileo Russell, in this video that you can go find if you search for this tweet on Twitter. You'll find the link and see Gally share his thoughts on the future of robots and self-driving cars at Tesla that Elon liked. Next, a tweet from Holmar's catalog. Can you drop some hints about AI Day, please? Well, did he get some hints about AI Day, please? Yes, he got them, and we already saw that tweet. Okay. Next, a tweet from before UD3R on Twitter. What chip shortage? Tesla sales continuing to go north. Other OEMs, chip shortage will continue to hurt our sales until 2024, with the doubt meme posted right below that. Yeah, funny. There's been this ongoing chip shortage that every other automaker is blaming for their decreased sales for a couple of years now. But Tesla has been increasing their sales over those years. So what's with the chip shortage? All right. Elon, I don't want to pass his tweet up, said submarines use electric motors underwater. In reply to a tweet from the girl with the Mozart tattoo at Phi Beta Kitten on Twitter, the number of people who seem to think that driving an EV through a puddle is similar to dropping a plugged-in toaster into the bathtub. Lord give me patience. I have to hide myself so you can read this. Just saw a news clip of electric vehicles in Hurricane Ian. How many people are going to run out of charge mid-evacuation? How many are going to meet puddles of water that they can't even think about going through to escape? You better pray that lifted F-250 with mutters comes, is what this Twitter user thought would be a good tweet. When in actuality, Tesla's float. This is not well known or understood, but people have risked their vehicle's health driving through big puddles of water in an internal combustion engine vehicle. The second your car can't breathe any more air into the combustion engine, it will stall out and stop working. But Teslas run on electric motors, the same as submarines do, and are waterproof enough that some people will elect to cross short bodies of water in their Tesla. That's not recommended by the manufacturer, and it may void your warranty to do so. So don't try to use your Tesla like it's a boat, unless you really have no other choice in the matter. All right. And that's not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, etc. Kelly Roofing tweeted, Tesla solar roof stood up to Hurricane Ian with 155 mile per hour winds and a 10-foot storm surge. This power wall was underwater for hours and is still working perfectly. So you can see the water line pretty clearly evidenced on the mud here. And that storm surge came in, bringing those boats up on land and wrecking stuff. in the vicinity of this house. But the power wall was still functioning even after being submerged in water. So I like that tweet. Next tweet from Edward Van Balen. Thank you, James. I'll put this tweet on this tweet of yours on a mug. So I was flattered that somebody would put any tweet of mine on a mug. So this was a thread that began with me saying that Tesla Q says Tesla's dead in Europe. Everyone else is passing Tesla in the EU now in EV unit sales. If you don't believe us, Tesla Q, go to EU EVs and see for yourself. So when I go to EU EVs, I use the monocle emoji to indicate that what I saw is not exactly the same story. If you look at this chart, so the for those of you who are colorblind, these are listed in order from most sales to least sales among the top 8 sellers of electric vehicles all time cumulatively in Europe, beginning with the first year for which there is data, 2017. You can see Tesla was not the top seller of EVs in Europe in 2017 or 2018. But the following year, 2019, they were, boosting them into the first place overall rank, which Tesla has not yet relinquished. And if you look at the 2020 through 2022, nobody's really even gaining that much. I mean, Volkswagen did gain in 2021 by selling a bunch of ID4s, but if you look at 2021 to 2022, so far, year to date, as of the almost the very end of September, they're not gaining on Tesla here. The area is not the Tesla's lead is not shortening if you look from here to here. All right. So what was said after that? 1 year ago, I felt special with my Model Y in Europe. Now I see Model Ys everywhere. It's incredible. And I replied, "You're still special. You had yours first." With some clinking champagne glasses here. So thought that was a nice tweet. Another tweet from Dutchy Wiegans. Maybe if you tried being thorough, people would take you seriously. Always great work, James. So what do we have here? So I said I shared the Tesla company compiled consensus estimates that I got for Q3. 362,733 was the company compiled consensus, which was an increase from 357, which is what it was most of September. And this is what this table looks like. Let me get myself out of it in case you want to read what the 2025 and 2026 expectations are for deliveries. Really wide standard deviations out there that far, kind of reinforcing the point that I make sometimes that the farther out into the future you try to forecast, the harder it gets. So I'll get rid of this and say my next tweet was my deliveries expectation is the same as it was in the 30 tweet forecast thread I tweeted out August 20th. 361,969, a forecast sure to be wrong, because whatever you forecast, it will be wrong. That's the first rule of forecasting. And so I linked to that thread, and then I said, if those 30 tweets aren't enough info for you about my forecast, here's a playlist link to my forecast review video series on YouTube, a deep dive into every chart and every line of my detailed forecast model. So if you would like another 6 hours of content on my forecasts, it's available for you on YouTube. Very easy to see them all using this playlist. So get them all in order. No hassle, no fuss. And this series was available to my Patreon supporters the day that I upload those videos. I can only record on weekends and only upload on weekends because I have a day job. Hashtag day job problems. So if you support me on Patreon for as little as $4.20 per month, you get access to those videos the day that I upload them. So that's just out there for you. At times, there were like 15 unpublished videos available to my Patreon supporters because I recorded them so far in advance and then released one per day because that's how YouTube makes you do it. If you release them all the same day that you record and upload them, They will only promote the most recent one, and the rest will die in obscurity, and nobody will watch them. Next, a tweet from Berlinergy. Deutsche Bank remains impressed with Tesla operational execution and reiterated a buy rating and a $400 price target on Tesla. So this is analyst Emmanuel Rosner, I believe. It doesn't say here, but if you're interested in reading that, that info is available to you. Next, a tweet from Steckerado. The Toyota CEO said there remain formidable challenges to mass market adoption of fully electric models, including a shortage of battery materials and an undeveloped charging infrastructure. All right, well, you gonna cry? You gonna complain? What you gonna do, Akio Toyota? Others are working to address the problem, trying to secure battery supply, trying to build battery factories, or guarantee contracts with suppliers and let them build the battery factories and figure out the raw materials problems for you, right? This is not an intractable problem. It's just making more batteries. It's a huge challenge. I'm not trying to underscore I'm not trying to make light of a serious problem here, but I am trying to make light of a company refusing to try, which is what it appears to me Toyota is doing. If we move to all EVs, we would leave some customers behind, is Toyota's take. So Steckerado continued, the car company also remains bullish on hydrogen fuel cells. He said, a technology that is still in the early stages of commercialization and dead on arrival. Deadsville, USA. Hydrogen fuel cells are not going to supplant internal combustion engine vehicles. That's never going to happen. It's way less efficient than just putting batteries in the car, right? Hydrogen is an energy storage. There's a whole video on YouTube you can watch where Elon takes apart hydrogen fuel cell vehicles in 2 minutes, listing off top of his head, rattling off all the reasons why it's never going to work. Toyota's image, particularly on EVs and wider environmental issues, has become a concern for top executives, including Mr. Toyota. A CEO who seldom gives interviews has been making an effort to understand why the company's strategy is leaving some stakeholders unconvinced. He recently assigned an advisor to top journalists and other influential voices in the auto industry. The best way to understand what we're trying to do is to present our product. At the 2011 Tokyo Motor Show, Mr. Toyota said he loved the smell of gasoline and hoped that engine-powered vehicles would never disappear. Of course, James Hatfield here is correct. Imagine if Toyota had started working on these challenges a decade ago. So somewhere down here is... Did I get lost? Let me go back. Alright, so I just liked that, I guess. And next, a tweet from Sawyer Merritt. AI Day 2022 is a recruiting event for engineers. Elon has made that pretty clear. It will also be very technical. If AI Day 2021 was any indication, most analysts will walk away from the event confused about what they just saw. Yeah, that's kind of always what happens, right? Tesla unveils stuff, and the analysts on Wall Street and the critics and the haters all point at it and laugh and say that's never going to happen. And then Tesla just quietly goes about the business of making it happen. So it sometimes takes them longer than Elon guides. He's an optimistic person by nature and wants to set aggressive goals for his teams to keep them working urgently towards a successful outcome. But Tesla has a long track record of making the impossible late. Don't bet against Elon. So here we have a tweet from the aforementioned Elon Musk. Haha 100. So he believes that Sawyer Merritt is 100% right in this tweet's assessment. Next, a tweet from Matthias Fons at Holgerdanska9 on Twitter. Tesla Q3 P&D compiled estimates. So here's what a few analysts were expecting. Again, mostly right around 360,000, just a hair over, with very closely grouped projections here. And here's Troy's tweet. I ended up pretty close to where I started. Buyers in China waiting for a price reduction complicated things toward the end of the quarter. Yeah, so fewer deliveries than expected right here towards the end due to some folks in China waiting on a rumored price increase that may occur. Matthias replied, duly noted, I'll strive to do better, James. What was that in response to? Oh, it was me formally protesting that my estimates quarter-over-quarter growth isn't shown as 42.069%. You can see here and here. I'm sure some people read that tweet and their takeaway was, oh, now I know how James forecasts. He just applies 42.069% to whatever the previous quarter's deliveries and production were. No, it really did just happen to work out this way. Life is funny sometimes. You see the same numbers pop up a lot if you're looking for them. All right, and then here is proof from Jeremy Judkins at JeremyJudkins_ on Twitter that Tesla has a full self-boating mode. This is Jeremy escaping floodwaters in the Fort Myers, Florida area where he lives, following the arrival of Hurricane Ian, and you can see just the incredible devastation to that area, well documented if you've been watching the cable news networks on the question. But yeah, some of this is just standing water on the roadway. But yeah, that big splash right there tells you there's nothing underneath the tires at this point. Those tires are acting as paddle wheels now and splashing through the water to reconnect Jeremy to the interstate so he can make his escape. So, cool video there from Jeremy Judkins that I liked. Next tweet from James Catt. When do Tesla Q throw in the towel? I'm not going to read this whole tweet because I made a separate video about this thread and John Bryant's replies to it. That's a Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today video that I will let stand on its own without repeating myself too much. The next tweet that I liked came from Rob Maurer at Tesla Podcast with some photos in advance of AI Day. Here we see a big fork in the road coming. Yep. And here's the side of one of Tesla's trucks, with the artwork on the side showing a Tesla bot welding or, you know, doing something exciting in this artist's rendering. Inspirational depiction of Tesla bots making Cybertrucks. So, thought that was pretty cool. Gave that tweet a like. Next, a tweet from Jack Whitlock at Jack T. Whitlock on Twitter, tagging me, saying Tesla posted a picture of Dojo on Instagram, and this was before the event. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that photo before the event began. Elon tweeted, the point of AI Day is to show the immense depth and breadth of Tesla in AI, compute, hardware, and robotics. So I like that tweet. Next, a tweet from Anwarbek Imanbayev at Anwarbek Iman on Twitter. Don't mess with Texas, GIF. And that was in response to me saying Tesla bots are Texans. If you look closely, there's a Tesla Lone Star State belt buckle on Tesla bot in this photo that Chicago Glenn replied to Elon's tweet, naturally there will be a Catgirl version of our Optimus robot. Carl Andre Carpathy replied, not at all, wrote, loving the presentation so far about AI Day. A lot of this was infant stages / abstract ideas at best earlier in the year. Amazing to see. And in this thread, he said, my friends are forcing me to take 5 shots if anyone says software 2.0. So if you were wondering why Elon said software 2.0, that's that's the reason why he said it. He saw this tweet from Andre Carpathy and knew Andre would have to take 5 shots of Tesla tequila, which he did do later. So that's what this was about. Shorty Airfarce at @sairfarce on Twitter tweeted, Tesla critic bot timeline, 2021, a guy in a suit, a pipe dream. 2022, they had a year to develop. All it can do is walk across the stage and wave. 2023, bot is vaporware. 2024, Tesla taking pre-orders for a vaporware bot that will never happen. 2025, competitors' bot will be better. This is the progression. I did my own take on this same idea a little bit later on, but yeah. The Tesla Q crowd is a little predictable. I will not be shocked in any way to see this be accurate in coming years. Here's a tweet from Gene Munster that I liked. Traditional auto is in trouble. But that was tweet 6 of this thread. So these were Gene's takeaways from AI Day. He characterizes it as a long shot here. But I've heard some people refer to this as a free call option if your valuation of Tesla, the company's value, does not include any bots earnings contribution, then it's just gravy for you if Tesla does deliver on this product. And he thinks FSD is expected to be available worldwide by the end of this year. I've heard that reiterated a few times by people at Tesla recently. Still as level 2, obviously. But that doesn't mean the software won't be a lot better than it is now. FSD has continued to improve and could become better than most level 4 systems while still being level 2 in terms of the driver being responsible for its safe operation. If you don't understand those, go take a look at the SAE levels and educate yourself, foo. Next a tweet from Earl of Hearthands at 28 delays later. Legacy auto engineers gluing a knob on an LCD screen while watching Tesla AI Day 2. Yeah. He's not kidding. There are other companies that are still gluing knobs on the middle of LCD screens for their electric vehicles. All right. Elon replied fasting to a question from Eva McMillan. Hey, Elon, what's your secret? You look awesome, fit, ripped, and healthy. Lifting weights, eating healthy. So Elon is looking a little thinner in this photo than we've seen him at other times. Here's a tweet from Rob Maurer at Tesla Podcast. Short hair, long Tesla. So here's Rob with the Tesla bot that I later joked he will be training on how to do every job better than a human being can. Next a tweet from Fly4Dat. You know it's good if I like to tweet from longtime Tesla hater and short seller Fly4Dat. But I evaluate each tweet on its own merit, regardless of who sent it. Here's the meme with Elon saying Twitter bots, Tesla bots. Yeah, this is... That's a funny meme. So it got a like from me. All right. Next a tweet from Vishal Yasudas. Watching Tesla AI Day 2 and realizing the video being used as an example was captured by my car during an FSD beta drive. Red light runner. Yeah. So he remembers when this happened to him. So there's that red light runner right in front of him. Goodness. So, yeah, you would remember if something like that happened to you and you had your car to thank for applying the automatic emergency braking. So, yeah, there are haters who say that Tesla doesn't use the video from the field at all, and this is a handy tweet you can reference to let them know how wrong they are. Next, a tweet from Elon Musk replying to Carpathy. Here is Carpathy paying off his Tesla tequila shots wager. You can see this bottle is now mostly empty. Poor Andre, former head of Tesla Vision, now enjoying a well-earned retirement or something. So yeah, that's where that tweet came in. Next, a tweet I liked from Balloons at ABCDELONOP. So ABCD Elon OP, maybe? I certainly will and have been looking forward to more. So what's going on in this thread? Well, Elon said fasting. I said me looking for a Tesla bot heart hands tee on shop.tesla.com. Hey, where's the Tesla bot heart hands tee? Earl put it in his Twitter handle or name description. Everybody wants one. Go check out this thread if you want to see everybody else who agreed they want to buy one. So Balloons replied, I got this a few days ago, thanks. So here's an option for you. If you'd like to have a unique Tesla shirt, or a very rare Tesla shirt is a better way of characterizing it. Here's a photo of a t-shirt that you can get as a reward for the $25 support level tier of my Patreon. I send out another unique t-shirt to Patreon backers at that level every quarter. So there's one of them. I replied, awesome, first I've seen one. Wear it proudly knowing what a rare garment it is. Patreon doesn't send one to the creator, I guess. So I certainly will and have. Here's another one of these t-shirts. So if you want to represent Tesla's revenue growth, and if you're way ahead of your retirement goals, etc., maybe based on your investment in Tesla stock over the years, if you find my content that valuable, you can avail yourself of that Patreon tier benefit. Okay, next a tweet from the girl with the Mozart tattoo at Phi Beta Kitten. Bot recognized bot at James Dalma at Tesla. So, yeah, this is James Dalma's girlfriend, Karen Bauman, sending out this photo of him that perhaps she took as his +1 at the event. All right, here's a tweet from Earl of Heart Hands. Was thinking about how Russia laughed at Elon Musk when he tried to buy a rocket, and years later he's supplying internet to Ukraine with SpaceX. So, how do you not like that tweet? It got a lot of likes. Tesla tweeted 2000 Model Y built at Giga Berlin this week. They're already making 2,000 a week. By my math, that's a little over 100,000 per year run rate already. I would say that probably means, as of now, this factory is contributing gross margin to Tesla and will continue to increase Tesla's earnings from here on out as they ramp up from that level. All right, next we have another tweet from Shorty Air Farce. LOL, Musk fleecing the shorts. Let's check this out. Mike J at Remain Silent, apparently a Twitter hater, a Tesla hater. I've never seen him before. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but the days of Musk fleecing the shorts is over. Little subject-verb agreement problem right here. This ought to say are instead of is. Yeah, so there's the belief from one hater on what the future holds in store for Tesla. Here's a tweet from Alexandra Mertz at Tesla Boomer Mama on Twitter. This may come handy on Monday morning. What a time to be alive. So what do we have here? Let me get rid of myself on the screen. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see Tesla with an $831 billion market cap and $14 billion of cash flow from operations. Listed below, Deutsche Bank and Credit Suisse. Now, they have much lower market caps, sure. Deutsche Bank has negative cash flow from operations. That's a bad sign. Credit Suisse looks a lot better on that metric, but cash to debt, cash to debt, not so good. This one's okay, that one's not so great. Debt to equity, Tesla's debt to equity ratio is 0.18. Tesla has way less debt than they have cash. So Tesla, the way to read this is, Tesla could pay off all of its debt with 18% of its cash. That's what this is telling you. These show that these banks have more debt. Now, these are banks. Banks are allowed to get away with having a lot of debt because they're charging interest on that debt, they're loaning out money to people, etc. But still, we'll keep going. Debt to EBITDA, these are very high and bad. Tesla is the fourth best among all corporations. That's what this row is giving you. Among all 38 corporations shown in the other table, which I don't know if Alexandra provided later in the thread or not. Altman Z-score over here, it's not applicable to banks, but Tesla's is the best at 20. The safe zone is above 3. If you get a score, an Altman Z-score above 3, you're not at risk of financial distress in the next 2 years. You have an extremely low probability of financial distress in the next year or two. So here's the ratings from Moody's and S&P. So they still have Tesla rated almost last, third from last among 38 corporations shown being like the top 20 largest companies and another 18 automakers is what this list of 38 corporations is, if I'm going from memory, which I am. But Moody's somehow thinks these two companies are great. A2, A-, Credit Suisse, BBB, Baa2. Those are okay ratings. These are really good ratings for Deutsche Bank. So that's an informative tweet that I liked a lot. Here's another one from Mayor. What other company shareholders have more fun, excitement, sense of community, and some drama than that of Tesla shareholders? Maybe Apple under Steve Jobs or Berkshire Hathaway, especially back in the 80s or 90s. But today, I mean, Berkshire Hathaway still does okay. They're not growing anything like Tesla is. So I like that tweet. And the last tweet that I liked this week, we made it to the end, comes from Sawyer Merritt, at Sawyer Merritt on Twitter. News: Elon Musk sends SpaceX Starlink terminals to storm-battered Florida counties and provided that internet service for free. So this was SpaceX's contribution to Hurricane Ian relief efforts in Florida.
Just get it on your device without having things like that, beaming it to the public or beaming it to whatever. So those.
All right, so that's the governor of Florida making that announcement. And you have reached the end of James's Gems of the Week. So if you've liked today's video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That's free. As I mentioned earlier, I have a Patreon page you can go check out if that's of interest to you. Or you can join my YouTube channel. That's also an option if you prefer that one. Or just follow me on Twitter. My tweets are always free, and my YouTube videos are always free, after I publish them to you, dear viewer. And I'll see you in the next one.